Hello, Linda.
Well, come on. Hi,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm grand.
Good, good. Sounds like some exciting changes happening.
Indeed. It
Hi,
is.
Linda.
How are you doing?
I'm well. Long time no see.
Yeah.
We'll get started in about 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes.
Hello.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Don. You're representing.
I am. So I had the day off work today. So when I saw you guys post about this, I was like, oh, I'll be able to jump on and check out the changes coming up. Um, and then today I went for a massage earlier, and so I was just looking to stay warm. That was my goal.
Right on. I heard it's cold out there.
Yep. When I was driving home, my car still said 32. So
I think it's like 82 here.
I'll
It
trade
is
you.
so hot.
Well, we're going to go ahead and start. We are recording. Just want to let you guys know that. So if you don't want to be included in the recording, then I would invite you to visually mute your screens. It's fine if you choose to be on it, but I just want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to not be on it if you don't want to be. So I'll go ahead and start, and then Jenny will have some words to say, and then we will open it up to anybody that has any questions or wants to has anything they want to share. Um, that we have some news for the world, and that news for me, at least, is bittersweet. That the first of the year, the Forward Facing Institute will be no more, as it has been for the past 4 years. Um, and we're, there's some sadness in that passing, but there is also some excitement about what will be emerging, the two entities that will be emerging in its place. And we'll want to talk about that for a little bit. I want to say that I feel really good about what we've been able to accomplish in the past 4 years. Just the breadth of lives that we've been able to touch and the people that we've been able to bring more well-being, better quality of life, an understanding of themselves, a pathway to both resolving their past and optimizing their present, and becoming intentional in their future, to rip off the subtitle of the Forward Facing Freedom book, um, for sure. Uh, and so this is, there's no acrimony. We are both excited about the directions that we're headed. I'll give Jenny an opportunity to speak for a little bit, and then we'll talk to you a little bit about what you can expect in the months and years to follow.
Wait, are you done? Are you done sharing? Or you that was
Yeah.
just your intro?
Well, yes to both.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I think maybe I was just expecting you to wax longer. Um, for me, obviously this didn't come for either of us without a whole lot of time and soul searching. And back in August, when I was doing some of my intense processing with myself, I what I really landed on was just the immense gratitude that, so for me and Eric, it's been more than 4 years. It's been 6 years because he started mentoring me fall of 2018. So exactly 6 years ago. And coming across, stumbling across, and it's so funny, I lead people through forward facing me 4 times a year. And most people stumble across Eric. As far as a trainer, a video, most people encounter him by stumbling across. And me stumbling across Eric's path was not about a business future for me. It was about it truly like changed the trajectory of my family forever. And as I, just pondered who I was and what our family situation was back in 2018, a lot of the more minor challenges really were able to be reinforced as just that, as like, there's ebb and flow when you're trying to run a business. Running a business means there's profit and there's loss and there's all these complicated things. But at the end of the day, what's not ebb and flow is that, and what's not so complicated, but is what is very sacred, is that these principles, which I think have existed forever, but that Eric was able to put together to express and to coalesce into something that was easy to understand, that has changed and will continue to change the lives of people through the course of many generations. And so I am just profoundly grateful for that. And yeah, I think, we've been able to, in as far as like what we've accomplished, we have 20, I didn't count our actual consultants, but we have 25 health and wellness coaches, 15 professional resilience coaches. We have 4 in the hoppers, 4 who are in the middle of the professional resilience training right now. That continues as normal. Emily's taking them through that process. Emily and I will continue working together for any professional resilience coaches coming through. I have 3 health and wellness coaches in the hopper at the moment. We've taken about 150 people through Forward Facing Me. And I didn't count how many live events we've done, but it's been good. And yeah, for me, I could write a little book about everything, but what keeps it fresh for me and why I will do Forward Facing Me until nobody wants to come anymore, which hopefully won't be ever, is it just always it's always alive. And when it's just always alive. I mean, I met with my group this morning, and just the joy, the freshness, and the exploration of a new way to live, that is, it brings incredible joy to my heart. And I think what we're really experiencing now is a way for both of us to start pursuing passions that are more aligned with our season and stage of life and with the direction that we want to go. So that's all I have to say for now.
Well, that was well done, Jenny, for sure. The thing that that also I want to say is that we have continued to align to the principles of forward facing in our process with the evolution of the Forward Facing Institute, been able to remain regulatory and intentional to our mission of being able to bring forward this material to all the people that we have and their families. And, I feel really good about that. And accept that this is, that Forward Facing Institute was a season. And the forward face, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about where it's going for me. The Forward Facing Institute will continue. I'm working with an attorney right now. I'm going to be moving, provided I don't screw up the relationship that I'm in too badly. I'm going to be moving to New York and sometime in the spring, summer, late spring, early summer of 2025, and I'm already working with an attorney there to start a 501c3, a nonprofit organization which will be focused on both two kind of primary foci, and that it will be doing research with forward facing. And hopefully one of those will include a randomized controlled trial for the forward-facing professional resilience course for the workshop. And then I have a real passion to do a demonstration project with forward-facing in two places. I want to be able to do a large number of folks in a community looking at forward facing as a precursor to community mental health, as a thing to be able to give people who are waiting 3, 6, 8, 9 months to be able to see a therapist, to be able to give them some skills and some practices that are community supported and peer-to-peer driven, delivered, and seeing the impact that that has as a community-based process. Because at the core of forward facing, that's always been my vision, is to create with forward facing something akin to hopefully have forward facing do for trauma survivors what 12-step fellowships have done for people with addiction, alcoholism, or other addictive challenges. Something that is peer-to-peer and that is community-based, not institutionalized, that is and that focuses on connection and support as a primary vehicle, and see how that works as a triage process for mental health. And the other thing that Lindsay Rothschild and I, we did a successful, and it's thriving, a successful infusion of forward facing into a milieu program for an addiction treatment program in Elfrida, Arizona, down in southeast Arizona, Seven Arrows. And I want to study and pilot that some, about how to marry addiction treatment with a forward-facing process for lessening, minimizing the effects of traumatic stress for those people that are in residential treatment, and to launch them with the skills to be able to be successful as soon as they are discharged from the program. And seeing if that is a viable service to offer, so that in the future that addiction treatment programs can do both, can address both with a milieu process. And I'm excited about doing that. So that's going to be the focus of what I'm going to be doing. In addition to, we're about halfway through Forward Facing for Love and Intimacy book right now. I'm co-writing that with my partner, a social worker in New York, and we have the intention of building that into a relational process, using workshops and retreats and individual coaching as an accelerated process to help people to evolve beyond patterns of self-defense relationally and begin to become increasingly intentional, be able to develop the capacity for tolerating intimacy. But most of all, the goal of that book, and then everything that comes after it, is to build for people who are ACEs survivors, who have a lot of aversive experiences in their childhood, to teach them how to build secure attachment in in an intimate relationship with a partner, and be able to create for people who have never experienced secure attachment, that process in their marriage, in their domestic partnership. And really looking forward to evolving that process and kind of handing that off to Nicole as I continue this ever accelerating process of aging. And that's kind of what I see as the future for forward facing going on from here. And that's what you guys will see. I will continue to have a public presence in doing that, but it'll be in New York. And Jenny, I think, wants to talk a little bit about the project that she's doing.
Yeah, so a bit of clarification is, when we talked, so I'm going to be operating my original venture, which I started in 2018, which is Resilia. And Resilia will be offering forward-facing coaching certifications, but the forward-facing coaching academy, that was a transition that after 6 weeks of deliberating, it was clear that was just too many different names. But my primary passion is to equip frontline mental health workers, so who are non-clinicians, so coaches, peer support specialists, case managers, and support parent aides, direct support staff, all those people who are at high risk for compassion fatigue and who don't have the luxury of sitting in an office. No disrespect to any clinicians who sit in offices, but these people have the least amount of education and are often facing the highest degree of exposure to secondary traumatic stress. They also have the highest amount often of ACEs and adversity that haven't been dealt with, because maybe they haven't had the financial or educational resources to do that. And so with the combination of coaching and training, the Resilia is going to be reaching out and training those people. My hope is to eventually be developing contracts with larger companies who need those employees and team members trained in not just trauma-informed care, but a more comprehensive, how can I come alongside this person that I work with? How can I help them to both facilitate and catalyze their post-traumatic growth while growing alongside of them, while deepening my own resilience? A lot of them have never heard of self-regulation. They know that they're supposed to take care of themselves, but they have no idea how. I really look forward to doing more work locally. I've missed being able to work in my community. And so I have connections. I've had people ready to connect me with Chandler Police and Fire, which is my city, as well as other local organizations. And I've been working in this entrepreneurial center in my city, and that's been really enjoyable. And so a lot of what I've missed by building the Institute, which has been necessary, is the chance to just connect more face to face. And so I'm looking forward to do that. Secondly or thirdly, I am looking at developing a train the trainer process for my state dependent self-care plan. I've had a lot of requests from both therapists and coaches to be able to use that. And so I'm going to finish publishing it, look at getting it trademarked, and then develop a train the trainer curriculum for it. The training of coaches will be secondary to what I'm doing. And so it's what we found, and this is kind of add in just context, is that when we raised our prices, to reflect the actual cost of what it takes to certify someone as a coach, we would have also needed to significantly raise our marketing efforts, and because it was it was way below fair market value, or way below typical industry standards for the cost for a certification. But what we didn't have, which we had in the first 2 years, is an influx of people beating down our doors for it. Because we had the crew of people beating down our doors for it when it was super cheap. But then when it wasn't super cheap anymore, it was still a good bargain. We didn't have the marketing to be able to garner that type of interest where people were ready. What we have found, what has been the case the past 2 years, is we've had lots of people coming through Forward Facing Me, and they think they want to be coaches. But they're either already certified as a coach by a different entity, or they're a current therapist. And from the combination of Forward Facing Me, a couple of individual coaching sessions, and maybe an online course, they felt really equipped to be able to integrate Forward Facing in the work that they already do. And so for me, that's just noticing the market trends and then trying to respond to it by seeing, okay, people are wanting, there's some people who want the full-fledged certification, but a lot of people are wanting just a deeper understanding of how to integrate Forward Facing for themselves personally. And so, yeah, I think that's sums up what I'm going to be into.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jenny. So there's two more things that we want to get done with this process, and one is to invite anybody who's here today to speak about the impact that Forward Facing has had on their lives. If you would like to do that, and then we'll finish up with a question and answer process. If anybody has any questions that they want to ask us, then we'll happily answer those. So I want to invite any of you that are here to be able to speak about what you've gained in your time and engagement with the Forward Facing Institute, or not. Uh-huh.
Well, it's been a profound experience for me in the sense of just really pivotal changes. Not always big, but I think the first thing when I think about it is that you know how sometimes things come up or are presented to you when you really need them, and you don't necessarily go looking for it, but it's there. I mean, I call that kind of a God thing, and that's what Forward Facing has been for me for the last several years. It's mainly been used for me for personal. Just really of course the tools, but putting things into words that made so much sense to what I was experiencing. Yes, I went through the phases of feeling crazy and inadequate and for a long time. But well, for me, I started with Forward Facing, taking a class from Eric in Arizona. It was the Forward Facing therapy, and it just so clicked. And then after that, I stayed in contact and then went through the training programs, and it just did so much for rearranging my thought processes, first of all, and then the emotional changes that have gone with that. I'm not probably the best person to talk to or to sell the training part, I mean, not the training part, but the using it as a business, because I haven't done anything with it. And for a while, I was a little ashamed of that. But then again, realizing, using the tools I've learned, that that's just not where I've been. and actually I'm just starting into that now. Doing it more from using in practice, from a business sense. But for me, it's been a whole transformation, both emotionally, physically, changing my responses to perceived threats. And I don't know, it's just been amazing. It's the best way I can put it. So.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, I was a little, I did get that perceived threat when I read that you guys, things were changing, and it's like, oh my God, now what? And so, for me, I'm just going to try to stay, as connected as I can in one way or another with both of you and what you're doing. And Eric, I'm really glad to see you're moving into relationships, because I think there's such a need for it. Boy, it's just amazing, really, what a need for it is. So I'm looking forward to your work with that.
Thank you. Would anybody else care to speak?
I'll share two quick thoughts. I love the elegance and the simplicity of forward facing. It's relatively easy to explain, relatively easy to, I should say simple, but not easy, right? To explain, to implement. And for me as a therapist, where I'm immersed in a world of professionals who view their clients as sick, broken, or damaged, the shift to a salutogenic approach, which is one that I was making anyway and had been making for at least a decade, has just been very liberating, really powerful. I think it offers a great deal of hope to my clients and to me. So those are two comments about the impact it's had for me.
Thank you, Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I've done some of the piloting work with community-based work and a little bit of work in peer support as well. And, personally, of course, find it so tremendously helpful and meaningful. So the ability to share that process is really important to me. So I'm really curious about how to be engaged and involved. On a personal note, I'm experiencing the need to be regulating like in this current time, because my parents are here, I'm 60, so they're older than that, right? Right. They've just moved here. So I haven't lived with them since I was 17 or something, They're close by. But this stuff really works, that's what's true. So how to share it and how to maintain a network of support for myself in order to be able to do that, I think are the things I'm curious about. And so I'd love you to speak about that, or if that's something that the folks who are here to organize or something, I'd love to know about that. But that's probably for questions, so I'll hold.
Happily address that. Is anybody else like to speak?
Hi. So, yeah, personally, forward facing has been great. Um, not only for my sobriety, but also for my clients. It has been at the core of my coaching practice, no matter what case I handle with my clients. And I know that people from half in the Philippines are really, really good, great for us sharing forward facing and for the generosity of Eric to let me, like, allowed me to share that experience with others. I have the same question as Margaret. I have upcoming professional resilience workshops early next year. And I would really love the support of a Hive and continuous support from Eric as well, and for Jenny. Altogether, I am grateful to both of you, and I really, really hope that um, you're blessed with whatever endeavors you might have in the future, and will forever be a part of my life, my recovery, and my clients as well.
Thank you, Boy. That was beautiful. Appreciate that. And yes, that, forward facing has been, with the Institute, it's been pretty much volunteer for me all the way through. So, I'm not going to stop that now. I will continue to be a support for anybody that's seeking to evolve themselves or their practice of forward facing in any way that I can be helpful. That's always going to be true. That's, if you know me, that's my ethos. You will always have my support. Any way that I can be there for you, for sure. Would anybody else care to speak? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Well, let me address Margaret's question first. First and foremost is that the community of forward facing will continue. I'll keep the same name for a while, probably evolve it into something different, languaged, but the alumni group will continue forever. As long as I'm alive, I'll be doing one of those. It'll probably be probably change the name because it doesn't fit as alumni anymore. But I'm going to do that every Tuesday night for the rest of my time on this planet, as long as I can still function. And I will be hosting events and doing trainings. We are getting a licensure as a continuing education provider, national licensure. That's in the process of happening right now in New York. So I'll be able to do trainings that are CEU approved, and we'll be offering those, especially with the relationship model. I'm excited about looking at healing ACEs through evolving. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is make forward facing the go-to treatment for ACEs, for the effects of ACEs. And it does a nice job with it when the people apply it. But to tweak that even more around using significant relationship as a means to drive that process of healing our past by evolving our relationship and tolerance for intimacy and engagement and secure attachment, all kind of combined into one simple process, is something that I want to build a community around. So there'll be the alumni group will continue, but I'm going to be starting as soon as I move and get the institute off the ground in New York, is starting to look toward different venues and vehicles for helping people uh, to have resources to evolve their relationship in ways that are not technical but are evolutional, and that's what I believe forward facing is going to do, and that'll be a central piece of the work in New York. And come to the city, hang out, we'll go to dinner. I'll be on the island. I won't be living in Manhattan. What other questions? Or Jenny, did you want to add anything to that about the community process?
Yeah, I hesitate to say exactly what I'm doing since it's not 100% nailed down, but I've been conceptualizing something similar to the alumni group, but that's closer to less of a free sharing and more of a group coaching format around a topic. And especially, it'll most likely be a follow-up process for those who've taken my state dependent self-care course, because there's a lot of nuance and detail to that. And so as I led this course last month, I think that's when it was, or October, and as I garnered a lot of feedback, everybody was saying, like, yes, we want more opportunity to just get together for 45 minutes or an hour and check in and see how we're doing on this, see what we can fine tune. And so the type of support things I'm processing and conceptualizing are something that's a little bit shorter, 45 minutes to an hour, that's closer to topic based. I'm exploring doing a kind of like intro. What we're finding is that a lot of people want to do forward facing me, but they're not regulated enough to do it. They have too much perceived threat, like way too much perceived threat. And so I've conceptualized, I know that the forward facing freedom workbook is more of a 7-week process, or it's a pretty, whatever it is, it's a good commitment. So I've been thinking of doing something that's more of just like Tools for Hope Live, that would either be free or discounted for coaches and consultants to come to, but more of a way to bring new people in. And because, man, I've been doing it now. When I do forward facing me, I do a really deep dive into each tool, and that is so much better than just videos. I'm also conceptualizing a type of Coach Connect where there would be some content, professional development. That, it's kind of like, it would be helpful for me to hear, is that something people want to come to? Because we had a couple that maybe we had 5 or 6 in the past couple months, there was 1 or 2. And so, but yeah, these are the different ideas I'm conceptualizing. I like the Tools for Hope Live as an intro to forward facing, like a pre-forward facing me type of thing, where people can check it out. And the follow-up group coaching from the state dependent self-care course. Those will definitely be 2 things that I'll be up to.
Thanks.
I have a question about credentialing, and if my memory serves me correctly, those of us who are coaches and consultants signed a document when we entered into the certification process, which indicated that we would participate in a certain amount of continuing education or a certain number of alumni groups in order to maintain that credential. And so I'm curious about what that looks like going forward.
What Jenny and I decided to do is, once certified, always certified. We didn't.
No, we talked about that. But that wasn't what we landed on.
I'm sorry. That's what I thought we landed on.
Well, clearly we need to get that in paper to everybody. That was, we talked about that if we weren't going to be certifying anybody anymore. But since we are, right now, what we decided is it just is going to stay the same. So forward facing me, alumni groups, and then when I roll out the different ways of ongoing connection, then those will be an option too. We don't want to make it any harder than it already is. And at some point, it might change to a semi-permanent thing, but for now we decided to just keep it the same.
So just to clarify, since full disclosure, it's been a while since I looked at that document. What are the current requirements, if you will, to maintain that certification? Or is that yet to be determined and spelled out?
It's basically like 6 contact points. So, if you do forward facing me, that's 7, but it's 6 contact points. So 6 alumni group / whatever group I'm offering, or 6, did I just say alumni groups? 6 contact points, not totaling to more than $150. That
And-
covers all
Okay.
certifications that you would have.
And would those contact points be with you and Resilia, Jenny, or with you through the alumni group, knowing that the name may change on Tuesday nights, or both, or some combination thereof? Or is that yet to be worked out as well?
For now, it's however you want for because you're existing, however you want to do it. I don't want to make it, if I don't want to insert more change into your life than necessary. And so however it's been working out for you, is fine. Until we get it all very clear what's there and what's available.
And the last question with respect to maintaining certification. Again, right, full disclosure, it's been a while since I looked at that document. Will those contact hours be reported, if you will, to Resilia in order to kind of log that somehow? Or is that
Yeah,
a
so
kind of a-
everything, so all the recertification stuff has been for the last year and a half or so has been on the .me website. That's all the same.
Okay.
And so the process for doing that is exactly the same.
And last question. I know I said the previous question was the last question, but I'm thinking there are probably also requirements to maintain the consultant status for those who have that credential and want to maintain that. And that's probably similar in terms of how we maintain that. Is that correct?
Sorry, I don't understand. Got lost on the difference between the 2 questions.
Yeah, so just is the process the same to maintain the credential as a forward-facing health and wellness consultant for those who fall into that category?
Yeah, so for any of the certifications, so if you have 1 or 4, then it's all exactly the same.
Okay, all righty, thank you.
So
Six.
I need a clarification. Okay, so I have the coach and consultant. So for that combination, I need 6 alumni meetings. Is that correct? Per year?
6 alumni, 1 forward facing me, or the other ones that I'm going to offer.
Okay, so I guess I didn't know that they were on the .me website. What's the full, or can you put it in the chat what the website is, full website is, so I can go and look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to reach the right page. So
there's a total of, there's 6 alumni, 1 forward facing me. So that's 6, 7 7 meetings of some sort. And then what else is there?
Um,
Or the number total, I guess.
yeah, no, it's either the alumni group or forward facing me.
Oh, or, okay.
Yeah.
But it's 6 of whatever. It's 6 of whatever the meetings you choose.
Yeah, and I can, and when you need to do that, I can walk you through it for sure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any additional questions?
I just want to clarify, so your certifications, you won't be certified, you'll still be certified by forward facing. It is still, you are still a forward facing health and wellness coach, forward facing professional resilience coach or consultant. And there's still a forward facing certification, but not forward facing institute certification. But it wasn't in the first place. Forward facing is forward facing. That's a great question, Nicole. I mean, yeah, nothing is, so this is, if you think of it as, I like to say to people, the science has never changed. And, you know, the science was here before, think about it, like all the science was there before Eric coined the term. And it's still going to be there if, you know, 100 years from now, people think it's a goofy name, which is not going to happen. But so the principles, they're still forward-facing principles. There is this, it's still forward-facing trauma therapy, forward-facing professional resilience. It's more of the legal partnership between us is no longer existing. But, you know, when I met with my forward-facing me group this morning, I'm teaching them forward-facing. So it's more of the legal structure is what's changing, and what we so that's what's changing.
I own the trademark for forward facing, and I own the service mark for forward facing certified coach and forward facing certified consultants. So that will be protected for you forever. That it is goes into perpetuity. That as long as you do the requirements that are you bet, Poi, for sure. Like that's yours. You bought that. When you got, I mean, primarily that's what you got when you bought the coaching program. In addition to the training, you bought the right to use the mark, you know, to call yourself forward facing certified. That doesn't change. Um, that you keep that. Did that get you taken care of, Michelle? Did that satisfy what you were asking?
Amy,
Okay.
are you talking about the professional resilience consultant?
Hang on one sec. I'm actually here. I can show my face.
Okay.
Yes, I was. You know, part of, I think, you know, Jenny, you probably know part of the reason that I found it and that I got brought in was because my organization was really looking for me to take this into our entire realm. And so while the individual coaching might not be as prevalent, the consulting and doing workshops and being kind of the go-to was. So I'm just curious,
Do
like,
you want to answer that, Eric, or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we've decided is, because Eric has always run the consultant programs and it's really his baby, as long as we have the right size group, which did we agree was 4, that he will, so he'll technically contract with Resilia to do that. I don't have any plans on certifying health and wellness consultants. If we suddenly had a group of 4 who wanted to do that, then that would be a discussion. But the professional resilience consultant is definitely a big demand. And the people who are there in your cohort, that's really important for them, most of them, I think, for what they want to do as well. So
Okay.
yes, that will still be offered.
Okay.
I will be contracting with Resilia to do the training on that. Anything else? Anything from you, Jenny?
No, just that with every end is a new beginning or something cliche like that. So it's just been, this could have like, yeah, just a lot of gratitude for, I think the wisdom and the revelation and the time, the clarity to think through things and just amazing amount of gratitude and excitement for for Eric to do his academic stuff and research, and for me to do my to have a real focus on non-clinicians. I'm excited about that. So yeah, just love each one of you, and we're here. Like we're not going away. And yeah, how you can help. I know, oh, Margaret's gone. She had asked, sharing social media is going to change because social meta is not kind about letting you change your name. And so, but the best thing you can do to help if you want to help is reshare posts. Like that really makes a difference. Resharing things and sharing your story. That's really the most powerful thing you can do. And you got stories, I'd love to hear them, love to put them in a blog post. I'm always antsy for good stories. So, I'm here, Eric's here. We're here for you guys. We're here for everybody. It just looks different. And so just know that, we're not neither of us are disappearing. So you're going to see us, you're going to hear us. And yeah, we just want you to know that we're here for you.
I have another question.
Yeah.
My go-to person has always been Molly. Oh, she's on. Will she continue to be the go-to person whenever I have a question or I've forgotten something, one of you said, I always go to Molly, or if I
Yeah.
can't.
You can go to me. Molly's going to actually be doing some work for Eric and some work for me. Because we think she's so amazing. We can't find someone better. But in general, like if it's a recertification thing, you can reach out to me. If it's an alumni group question, you can reach out to Molly because she'll be doing that tech stuff.
And we are moving the sign up for the alumni group from the forwardfacing.me to the forwardfacing.com. So there'll be a notice that goes out to everyone, an email that goes out to everyone when that's done. In the interim, if anybody wants to show up, I will just I'll comp that until we get that set up. So just email me if you want to come. We'll get that. We'll get you the link, and you'll be able to show up to that and participate.
And all the material that we received going through consultant and coaching is still in Dropbox. That hasn't changed. I haven't looked at it in a while.
I don't know the answer to that yet. I hadn't thought about
Oh,
that.
Neither do I.
So that's a hole in our preparation. I don't know what will be done with that.
okay, yeah, because I don't want to lose that.
Well, download it soon.
Okay.
I just wanted to jump on about the alumni group registration, sorry. The individual, if you are not a monthly member, then right now you can sign up on the .com website. It's there under events. The monthly membership is being moved back to .com. So that you can email me directly if you want, and I can support you with that.
Thanks, Molly.
So I have a question related to the last question. I think Amy, well, I forget who said that. Linda possibly about Dropbox. Are we able to get some sort of email with here were the resources that were made available and the link to those resources? I'm just thinking that there's a lot of really valuable stuff that over the last couple of years I have been given, going through a couple different certifications, and I took Jenny's state dependent self-care, all of that, like just different resources that we've gathered over the last couple of years. Do I just have to go through all of my emails and try to find all the links to double check that I have everything downloaded?
I don't know how to answer that.
I think it's a complex question because none of us would know exactly what documents you've received. So I do know that for health and wellness, we have updated materials. And so, but most of what you would want to access is all in the courses. So if you're any consultant material you receive from Eric, yes, that would be in Dropbox. Anything that you've taken as far as the health and wellness program, all the updated materials are in the courses. I can send you the state dependent stuff because it's much definitely better and updated since you took it. But I would say start by going through your courses, and then an easy way to filter, and I do this for myself when I'm trying to look through emails from Eric, is if you search by his email address and then look for attachments. I don't know if that shows for a link, but I don't know what you've received. But if you discover that you've been missing things, then and you can't access it, that's certainly something he can give to you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I know over the last couple of years, I think there's been a couple migrations or different things. So it's just been sort of hard to keep track of, but I definitely want to have the resources downloaded that I've been exposed to in the past. So the course, Jenny, is still going to be available moving forward, or is that getting like
which course?
Well, just with like the health and wellness coach certification.
Yeah, so all the courses, so one thing I guess we didn't share. So all of Eric's courses are still, so we don't have legal partnership, but we have collaboration. And so, for example, all of his courses that any of you have bought, they're still going to be on the .me website, because we don't want you to have to go to different places to find your stuff. And so any of Eric's courses, any of forward-facing courses, any of my courses, they're all on the .me website. And so if you took it previously, like say you took it on Teachable or you took it somewhere else, you should be enrolled in it on the .me website. If you find out that you're not, let me know and I can enroll you in it.
And the Dropbox is expensive, and we're not going to keep it at the professional cost. I'm going to download it all onto this drive right here. And I'm going to get one of those to Molly so that she will have every file. And for any of you who are certified that need that material, if there's something, then you can reach out to Molly and she can find you the whatever it is that you're needing and get it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we committed to taking no longer than an hour to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close and say that you know, it is with a grateful heart and belly full of love that I salute and have been sincerely joy filled to get to bring to you what we have brought. And we endeavor to continue that process going forward.
You're
And
here.
that's all we got.
Thanks, everybody. We'll post the recording of this somewhere. So if you want to listen to it again, and for everybody else who wasn't here.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.